I remember when I first started working as a stock clerk. I'd see people who had been there for years, some even decades, doing the exact same thing day after day. And I asked myself, Jim, is this how I want my life to be? That question hit me hard. It made me realize something powerful. The only thing separating where I was from where I wanted to be was the action I was willing to take. Success doesn't just show up at your door. You have to go out and chase it. That means taking action, not just when you feel inspired, not just when life feels easy, but every single day. It's about building habits, routines, and discipline that move you forward inch by inch, day by day. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but Jim, I don't always feel motivated. Well, let me tell you this, motivation is like bathing. It doesn't last, which is why you need it daily. You can't sit around waiting for motivation to strike. You have to create it through action. Every day, you face a choice to take actions that move you closer to your goals or ones that drag you further away. There's no such thing as standing still in life. You're either moving forward or falling behind. And here's the secret most people overlook. The small actions you take today compound over time, just like interest in a bank account. Tiny steps, taken consistently, become massive results. That's the power of daily action, not giant leaps, but steady progress, one day at a time. They don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. The most successful people have trained themselves to take action no matter how they feel, because they understand something vital. Feelings fade, but results last. Now, think about your own life for a moment. What actions have you been putting off? What steps have you been avoiding? Maybe it's that phone call you've been dreading. Maybe it's starting the business you keep talking about. Or maybe it's having that difficult conversation you've been postponing. Whatever it is, make a decision right now. Commit to taking action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Here's the truth. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Every day you choose not to act is a day lost, a day you'll never get back. And those lost days don't disappear. They compound, turning into lost weeks, months, even years. Then one day, you might look back and ask yourself, what if? What if I had taken that step? What if I had pushed through my fears? Don't let that be your story. Don't let hesitation steal the life you could have built. Because the future you want, the success you dream of, lies on the other side of action. It's waiting beyond the things most people are too afraid to do. Understand this. Success isn't a destination. It's a journey, a process built on the small, consistent actions you take every single day. It's about the habits you form, the discipline you strengthen, and the routines that slowly but surely shape your destiny. Think of success like building a house. You don't wake up one morning and find it fully built. You lay it down brick by brick, day by day. That's exactly how a successful life is created, action by action, day after day. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Jim, I've tried before. I've started projects I never finished. I've made plans I didn't follow through on. To that, I say, welcome to the club. We've all been there. The real question is, are you going to let those past experiences define your future, or are you going to learn from them and move forward? Taking action isn't about perfection, it's about progress. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. Every step forward, no matter how small, matters. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a young man who dreamed of being a writer. He had ideas, characters, entire worlds in his mind, but there was one problem. He wasn't writing. So, I asked him, how many words have you written this week? He looked down and said, none. I told him, that's your problem. You can't be a writer if you don't write. We made a plan. I said, start with 100 words a day. Just 100. He agreed, and for a week, he did it. Then he doubled it. Then 500. A few years later, that same man had published 3 novels. All because he committed to taking action every day, no matter how small. That's the power of daily action. It's not about giant leaps. It's about consistent, persistent effort. It's about showing up, doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't visible yet. Because here's the truth, the results always come. But they only come to those who act, not to those who wait for the perfect moment or hide behind excuses. Those who succeed are the ones who show up, day after day, putting in the work. But I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. Jim, I'm busy. I have a job, a family, responsibilities. Where am I supposed to find the time to take all this action? Here's the truth. You don't find time, you make time. You make time for the things that truly matter. And if your dreams, your goals, and the life you want to create aren't important enough to carve out time for, then maybe it's time to reevaluate your priorities. We all have the same 24 hours each day. The difference between success and stagnation lies in how you choose to use them. Are you spending your hours moving closer to your goals, or are you letting them slip away on things that don't matter? Start viewing your day differently. Every hour, every minute is an opportunity to take action. Maybe it's reading a few pages of a book during lunch instead of scrolling through social media. Maybe it's waking up just 30 minutes earlier to work on your side project. Or perhaps it's turning your commute into learning time by listening to an educational podcast instead of the radio. Time is the one resource you can never replace. Once it's gone forever. So use it wisely. Use it to take action. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest obstacles that holds people back from acting: fear. Fear of failure. Fear of the unknown. Fear of what others might think. These fears can be paralyzing, keeping you trapped in a life far smaller than the one you're capable of living. Fear is a natural part of the process. It's not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. In fact, fear often signals that you're moving in the right direction, pushing beyond your comfort zone, growing, and taking action towards something meaningful. The most successful people aren't fearless. They feel fear just like everyone else, but they act anyway. They know that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite fear. So, the next time fear creeps in, recognize it for what it is: a sign of progress. Tell yourself, this fear means I'm growing. This fear means I'm doing something that matters. Then take the step forward anyway. Because on the other side of fear lies growth, progress, and the life you've been dreaming of. Now, let's talk about something equally important when it comes to taking daily action: accountability. It's one thing to make a commitment to yourself, but it's something entirely different to make that commitment public, to have someone hold you accountable. Find an accountability partner, someone who shares your drive, your ambition, and your commitment to action. It could be a friend, a colleague, or even a family member. What matters is that they'll hold you to your word, push you when you need it, celebrate your wins, and help you learn from your setbacks. Check in with this person every day. Talk about your progress, your challenges, and your next steps. Because when you know someone's watching, when you know someone believes in you, it becomes much harder to quit. Share your goals with your accountability partner each morning, the specific actions you plan to take that day. Then, at the end of the day, report back. Did you do what you said you would? If not, why not? What can you adjust tomorrow? This kind of accountability can be transformative. When you know someone's waiting to hear about your progress, you're far more likely to follow through, even on days when motivation fades. Here's another powerful tool to keep your actions consistent: writing things down. Start each day by writing your goals, your plans, and the actions you're committed to taking. There's something remarkable about putting pen to paper. It turns intentions into reality, thoughts into tangible commitments. Keep a journal. Record your wins, your challenges, and what you've learned along the way. This isn't just note-taking. It's a conversation with yourself, a daily reminder of your growth and dedication to action. Now, let's talk about a common trap that stops many people: perfectionism. The need to get everything exactly right before taking a step. Let me tell you something. Perfectionism is the enemy of progress, the silent killer of dreams. You don't need to have it all figured out to begin. You don't need the perfect plan or the perfect timing. What you need is movement. Clarity doesn't come from sitting and thinking. It comes from doing. It's like driving at night. Your headlights only show the next 100 feet, but as you keep moving forward, the road ahead reveals itself. The same is true for your goals. The path becomes clear only when you take action. That's exactly how daily action works. You don't need to see the entire road ahead, only the next step. Take that step, then the next, and the next. Over time, something remarkable begins to happen. You build momentum. And momentum is a powerful force. It's what turns small, consistent actions into extraordinary results. It's what transforms distant dreams into visible reality. Think of it like a flywheel. At first, pushing it feels heavy and slow. It takes real effort to make it move. But if you keep pushing day after day, it begins to turn faster, smoother, stronger. Eventually, it spins on its own, fueled by the energy you've built through consistent action. That's the magic of momentum. It works for you once you've earned it. But here's something just as important for sustaining that momentum: self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't keep taking meaningful action if you're exhausted, burned out, or running on fumes. So part of your daily action plan must include caring for yourself, getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising regularly, and taking time to rest and recharge. Because when you take care of yourself, you create the energy, focus, and drive to keep moving forward. And that's what allows you to take action not just today, but every single day that follows. And let's not forget the power of celebration. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Did you finally make that phone call you've been avoiding? Celebrate it. Wrote those 100 words you promised yourself you would? Celebrate it. Went to the gym even when you didn't feel like it? Celebrate that too. Celebration reinforces positive behavior. It creates a feedback loop that fuels your motivation to keep taking action. Don't wait for the big victories. Celebrate the small daily progress, because those small wins are what sustain you on the journey ahead. Now let's talk about something many people quietly struggle with: comparison. In today's world of social media, it's easy to look at others and feel like you're behind. But here's the truth. The only person you should compare yourself to is the one you were yesterday. Are you taking more action today than you did yesterday? Are you growing more this week than last? That's what truly matters. Your path is unique. Your journey, your dreams, and your pace belong only to you. So stop measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel. Focus on your own steps, your own growth, your own daily actions, because that's what shapes your success. And while we're on the topic of action, let's talk about priorities. Not all actions are equal. Some will propel you forward faster than others, and it's your responsibility to identify those high-impact actions and give them top priority. Each morning, take a moment to decide what truly moves the needle toward your goals, and commit to doing that first. Each morning, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today that will have the biggest impact on my goals? Once you've identified it, do that first. Before checking your phone, before diving into the day's chaos, focus on that one high-impact task. Because here's the truth: when you accomplish your most important task early, everything else becomes easier. You build momentum, you build confidence, and no matter what happens later, you've already made meaningful progress toward your goals. Now, let's talk about something often overlooked when it comes to taking action: the power of reflection. Action alone isn't enough. It must be guided by learning and self-awareness. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what actions moved me closer to my goals today? What didn't go as planned? What did I learn? And how can I improve tomorrow? This simple habit helps you stay on course, refine your approach, and ensure that every step you take is leading you in the right direction. As you reflect, pay close attention to how you speak to yourself. Your inner voice has a powerful influence on your behavior. If you're constantly critical, focusing only on your flaws, it becomes difficult to take consistent action. Instead, talk to yourself with encouragement and kindness. Recognize your effort. Acknowledge your progress. Be your own biggest supporter, because the way you speak to yourself determines how far you'll go. The more you believe in yourself, the more action you'll take. And the more action you take, the stronger that belief becomes. It's a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle that fuels growth from the inside out. Now let's talk about something that stops many people in their tracks: overwhelm. When you look at everything you need to do to reach your goals, it can feel like too much. That feeling of being overwhelmed often leads to hesitation, or worse, inaction. But here's what you need to remember. You don't have to do everything at once. You just have to do something. Take one small step, then another, and another. Break your big goals into smaller, manageable actions, tasks you can start today, right now. Because the truth is, consistent small actions over time create massive results. Success isn't built through giant leaps, but through steady, persistent progress, day after day, week after week. And as you keep taking action, notice how it changes you. That sense of accomplishment, that rising confidence, that surge of energy, those are your rewards for moving forward. They're what keep you going when things get tough. Because make no mistake, there will be tough days. Days when you feel drained, unmotivated, or discouraged. But it's in those exact moments that your commitment to daily action matters most. Success isn't determined by what you do when you're inspired. It's defined by what you do when you're not. It's about showing up and taking action, even when it's hard, even when progress seems invisible. It's not about seeing immediate results. It's about pushing through resistance and showing up, even when every part of you wants to quit. Because here's the truth. The actions you take when you don't feel like it are often the ones that matter most. Those are the moments that test your resolve, the moments that separate people who achieve their dreams from those who only talk about them. Now, let's discuss something crucial for maintaining consistent action: the people you surround yourself with. You've probably heard it before. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And when it comes to taking daily action, this couldn't be more accurate. If you're surrounded by people who settle for mediocrity, make excuses, and avoid challenges, it becomes far harder to stay disciplined and driven. But if you spend time with those who are ambitious, focused, and committed to growth, their energy fuels your own progress. So, take a hard look at your circle. Are the people around you lifting you up or holding you back? Are they encouraging action or reinforcing excuses? If your environment isn't supporting your growth, it's time to expand it. Seek out people who inspire you, who challenge you to level up, who make you want to be better. And while we're on the subject of inspiration, let's talk about role models. Find those who have already achieved what you're striving for. Study them. Learn from their example. What actions did they take to get there? What habits sustained their success? The answers you uncover will serve as a roadmap for your own journey forward. Ask yourself, what disciplines did they master? What daily practices helped them reach the top? Now, this isn't about copying anyone else's life. Your journey is your own, but you can still learn from the paths others have walked. You can study their habits, adapt their strategies, and let their success inspire your own consistent action. Because remember, success leaves clues. And one of the clearest clues is this: successful people don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect mood. They don't make excuses. They take action, day in, day out, no matter how they feel, no matter what's happening around them. Now, let's talk about something that stops so many from moving forward: the fear of making mistakes. Let me tell you the truth. Mistakes aren't your enemy. Inaction is. Mistakes are teachers. They shape your growth, sharpen your judgment, and refine your path. Stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as feedback. Every setback is simply information, showing you what doesn't work so you can find what does. The only true failure is refusing to act. So don't fear mistakes. Fear standing still. Fear letting opportunities slip away because of hesitation. Because in the end, you won't regret the mistakes you made. You'll regret the chances you didn't take, the risks you avoided, the life you never lived because you waited too long. And that brings us to another silent killer of dreams: waiting for the right time. The truth? There is no perfect moment. There's only now. The present is all you truly have. So stop saying, "I'll start someday." Someday isn't on the calendar. There will always be reasons to wait, excuses to delay. But if you truly want the life you imagine, you have to begin today, with whatever you have, wherever you are. Because the conditions will never be perfect. The stars won't suddenly align. But action, taken now, creates its own momentum. And that's how transformation begins. You don't need all the perfect resources or endless support to begin. You just need to take one small step, then another, and then another. That's how real progress starts. Now let's talk about something many people struggle with: consistency. It's one thing to take action once in a while, but it's something entirely different to take action every single day. Consistency is where the real magic happens. It's what transforms actions into habits, habits into character, and character into destiny. But let's be honest, consistency isn't easy. It takes discipline, focus, and the willingness to show up even when you don't feel like it. So how do you build it? You start small. Make your daily actions so simple, so easy, that you can't say no. Want to exercise? Don't commit to an hour at the gym. Start with 5 push-ups. Want to write? Don't aim for a novel. Start with 100 words a day. When you make the task small enough, it becomes almost impossible to skip. Here's the beauty of it. Once you start, momentum takes over. You'll often end up doing more than you planned. But even if you don't, that small step still counts. It still moves you forward. And speaking of forward movement, let's talk about tracking your progress. When you're in the middle of the grind, it's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere. That's why tracking is essential. Keep a record of your daily actions. Review your progress each week or month. When you look back and see how far you've come, it becomes fuel for your motivation, a reminder that your effort is working, that your actions are building something real. Finally, let's address something most people overlook: the power of rest. Yes, rest. Taking action doesn't mean running yourself into exhaustion. True productivity requires balance. Rest isn't a sign of weakness, it's a strategy for longevity. Without rest, your energy fades, your focus dulls, and your results suffer. Rest refuels your mind and body, so you can take even stronger action tomorrow. Energy requires focus, and focus requires rest. You can't perform at your best when you're running on empty. That's why rest must be part of your action plan. Schedule time to relax, to recharge, to engage in activities that restore your energy. When you're well rested and rejuvenated, the actions you take become sharper, stronger, and far more effective. And here's another powerful tool for action: visualization. Before you move, take a moment to picture your success. See yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions that come with victory, the pride, the relief, the joy. When you can clearly see it in your mind and feel it in your heart, your actions begin to align with that vision. It becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Now, as we come to the close of this message, remember this: the actions you take today are shaping your future. Every small step you take is a vote for the person you're becoming, for the life you're building. So ask yourself, what kind of future are your actions creating? Are they moving you closer to your dreams, or keeping you exactly where you are? Are they expanding your possibilities, or quietly limiting them? Here's the truth. You have the power to shape your destiny. You have the power to create the life you want and to become who you were meant to be. But that power only exists in one place: in your actions. Not someday, not when conditions are perfect, but today, right now. So I challenge you, starting today, commit to taking action every single day. Do something, no matter how small, that moves you forward. Push through the resistance. Face your fears. Show up even when it's hard. Because when daily action becomes non-negotiable, everything changes. That's when progress begins. That's when transformation takes hold. Remember, success isn't about one big decision. It's about 1,000 small ones. It's the result of consistent, persistent action, day after day, week after week, year after year. That's how you build the life you've always dreamed of. It's about never giving up, no matter how many times you fall. So go out there and take action. Start small if you need to, but start. Then keep going. Keep pushing. Keep taking action every single day, because your dreams are waiting for you on the other side of action. Your best life is waiting there too. And here's the truth. If you commit to taking action daily, if you push through the hard moments and keep going even when results aren't visible yet, you will achieve things you once thought impossible. You'll become someone you never imagined you could be. So let this be the moment you decide to take control of your life through action. Let this be the day you commit to forcing yourself to move forward every single day. Because when you do, when you follow through on that commitment, there's truly no limit to what you can achieve. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your dedication to growth. Wishing you health, happiness, and success. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Mindset Daily.